Yeah. Indeed. Back on deck on my fly shit. Yeah.
Well, hello and welcome to Ask the Wizard streaming live for 7/7, so July 7th of 2022. I will reply to as many as I can of the your birthday greetings from 3 days ago now. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. It really does mean an awful lot. You take the time to offer those to me. So 61. Oh, hey Kathy, how you doing? Yeah, so 61, and yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I think whether you like it or not, I'm going to be around for a while. Here, I'll give a wave at Kathy. I'm going to be around for a while. There we go. My mother saw my sister Shauna, right? And my mother is Injustice. Oh no, I see that's what. All right, cool. My mother's 94. Our mother is 94, and she was just in the hospital for a while. Had some issues with the main equipment, so heart and lungs and bladder and kidney and all those fairly important body parts, right? And well, it was significant. We were kind of wondering there for a while, and he's actually the latest we've heard is getting discharged Monday, and she's 94. It was kind of interesting. There was a moment where, at least with the doctors, they were sort of, so what direction do you want to go with this treatment? And so I asked Mom, and I said, so, because that's one of the things with our family is there's never been a fear, if you will, around death and all that kind of thing. And so I asked her, I said, so do you want to go or do you want to stay? What do you think? And she said, well, I'd like to stay. Okay, that's what we'll do. And she's been in there for quite a while now. And yeah, she's so all the major mechanical equipment is running pretty good. Her vitals are probably better than mine. And so she's getting out. So yeah, you're probably going to be stuck with me for a while, which fits in really well with the teaching topic. With the teaching topic for today, which I've titled "The One Simple Truth That Will Guarantee the Manifestations of Your Desires." Now, I know you'll often see that in the sort of it's like the late night TV commercials, right? Where like the workout equipment. But there was one that looked like a big barbell, and it kind of vibrated like this, and you would hold it, and you'd see these guys on there that were just massive, and they're, of course, they're acting, right? And they're holding on to this thing, and they're just barely holding on to it, and that's, and so the whole image was, if you hold on to this, you'll look like this. And so it might even sound like, the whole, well, just one simple truth that'll guarantee the manifestations of your dreams. Son of a gun with this one is it really does. But you see, one of the things they never tell you in those late night commercials is that simple, this is huge, simple doesn't mean easy. And often, and that's something I've always professed right from the beginning, these principles, these practices, they really are simple, at least they sure can be. But simple doesn't mean easy. And I think a lot of, no, I don't think, a lot of times, and a lot of times, sorry, it's white on a fairly white background, but the teaching moment starts in 20 minutes. And a lot of times it's taught that way, and sometimes totally unknowingly, in that, this process is easy. Well, it may be simple, but it's not easy. And so then what happens is when a person starts to apply it, they go, well, what the hell, right? This was supposed to be easy and quick. Well, notice I said one simple truth. I didn't say one easy one, and I didn't say one quick one, which is one of the primary reasons that, 1,000 people, I'm just making up numbers, 1,000 people start the race and 3 finish. That's just numbers, right? Which is really crappy odd until you understand that you get to choose whether you're part of the 997 or whether you're one of those 3. And that's the teaching topic for today's show of Ask the Wizard streaming live, coming up in about 18 minutes. All right, we'll just enjoy a little bit of music. I am online if you want to stop in or stop over and say hi. I've got my monitor right in front of me here so I can tell when you're watching, who you are. If you want to chat, if you want to, like I said, if there's a Q&A, if you need a little bit of an energy top up, a little mini meditation, you just let me know, because that's what I'm here for. Ask the Wizard teaching live, July 7th, teaching moment coming up in about 18 minutes. All right, guys.
You're an open book. When I struggle to find the words, you get me completely. It's like I've known you forever, so I wonder, do you feel it too? Magic between me and you, the way that you make me feel. You wonder if I feel the same, the blood's rushing through your veins, and then when I say your name, bet I'm everything you see. Bet I'm everything you need. We're high on this feeling, don't wanna come down, just don't wanna tell me. Get into my eyes, I'm everything you need. You need. I'm everything you need. I'm everything you need. You need. I'm everything you need. I'm everything you need. You need. I'm everything you need. Bet I'm everything you see. Bet I'm everything you need. We're high on this feeling, don't wanna come down, just don't wanna tell me. Get into my eyes, I'm everything you see. Bet I'm everything you need. We're high on this feeling, don't wanna come down, just don't wanna tell me.
You may have seen this, but the online coaching sessions, Ask the Wizard online coaching sessions in Zoom Room, of course, everybody knows what Zoom is, over these past few years, are now by donation only. Yes. And so, while I'm very grateful, if you wish to send a donation, it's not a requirement. So if you would like an online coaching session in the Zoom Room, just message me. I'm broadcasting on Facebook and YouTube and Twitch, actually, all at the same time here, simulcast. But if you wanted a coaching session or anything like that, let me know. And you see it come up, actually. Where is it? Whoop. There we go. There. Over there on the slides as they come up on the screen. online meditations, on the spot meditation, energy top up. Still offering. Go figure, in-person workshops for Reiki level 1 and 2, and the manifesting ones, if that is something that you would like to see. Well, what else? Virtual Reiki level 1 and 2. Also, Reiki for self-treatment. But then also there's the program too, the self-study program you can download by going to healingcenter.ca. And the Reiki for self-healing home study, it's offered by donation too. And once again, it's not like you have to put something in before you download it. There's an option that you can send a donation if you wish, but you don't have to. It's not like the program is limited in any way or anything like that. This isn't a bait and switch or anything. It just really is free. And again, if you wish to send a donation, that would be definitely be grateful for that, but it's not required. That's not the immersion meditation. Same thing. Go to healingcenter.ca and you can download the immersion meditations. Most of them are 15 to 20 minutes long. Some have a teaching segment with them as well. Same thing. Download them free, send a donation if you wish. This message needs to get out there. Kind of fits in with the teaching topic that's coming up in about 14 minutes. I might jump that ahead a little bit in 14 minutes as well. All right. Enjoy. We'll see you in a sec.
On deck. Yeah. On deck. Hey, indeed.
The audio for these shows, once, of course, this is streaming video originally or initially on Facebook. So then what I do is I strip the audio out of the show. And what I usually do is take the whole show and then I clip out just the teaching moment as well. And they're uploaded to a couple of podcast websites. The first one you may or may not be familiar with, you see it come up on the screen, is anchor.fm. The one, of course, you're going to be most familiar with is Spotify. So if you go to Spotify, search for Ask the Wizard Coach, you'll find my profile and you'll find these shows. as I get to it, as I said, I strip the audio out of it and upload it there. So then you can listen to it as a podcast as well in Spotify or whatever player you wish to use. All right, teaching moment coming up. Whoa ho, in 2 minutes. I'll get my coffee freshened up, get comfortable. You get comfortable. And we'll jump into it. You are listening / watching Ask the Wizard streaming live for July 7th. All right, be back in a sec.
When I look at you like that, you lose it completely. Losing track of space and time. I don't wanna go home looking for a reason to stay here all night. I wonder, do you feel it too? Magic between me and you, the way that you make me feel. You wonder if I feel the same. The blood's rushing through your veins, and then when I say your name, bet I'm everything you see. Bet I'm everything you need. We're high on this feeling, don't wanna come down. Just go on and tell me, get into my eyes. I'm everything you need. I'm everything you need. You usually don't share any secrets. Suddenly you're an open book. When I struggle to find the words, you get me completely. It's like I've known you forever, so I wonder, do you feel it too? Magic between me and you, the way that you make me feel. You wonder if I feel the same. The blood's rushing through your veins, and then when I say your name, bet I'm everything you see. Bet I'm everything you need.
All right, so Ask the Wizard streaming live July 7th, 0707 of 22, and we're entering into our teaching moment. I've been on this journey for, oh, it's July, right? Yeah, 17 years. Wow, 17 years. What's interesting is a lot of things that are interesting. We'll call it that. The first image, and I think this might have been the first one. It was down for you folks that are familiar with Red Deer, Mackenzie Trails. And if you're familiar with Mackenzie Trails, the exact spot was it'd be on the west side of that main, or I guess the only pond that's there. So I was facing the east. It must have been the morning because I was looking at the sun, so I had good lighting. And I had a laptop. So this would have been summer of 2006. And I had a laptop and a webcam. Now, the laptop weighed about 20 pounds, and the webcam was like a orbit cam, like about this big. And battery was all charged up. I went down there, and I started recording a clip. And basically it was, so I've decided to sort of catalog through video. So we're talking 2006. So, I mean, smartphones weren't around. I mean, this was like video, like YouTube, I think who was it owned by? It was still a standalone. It wasn't even bought out by Google yet. There was Google Video, I think, is where I first broadcast it. But and I said, I'm going to try and chronicle my journey, and that was 2006, so 16 years ago. I still have those videos somewhere. I'd have to dig them up on an old hard drive. So more by good luck than wisdom, I've been recording my journey all the way along. And then, of course, it's this now is pretty darn trippy. Along the way, and this isn't just me, this is damn near every teacher that I've listened to. And they've said the same thing. They maybe use different words, they frame it differently in their own way. But they've said the same thing. This one simple, and as I said before, simple doesn't mean easy. This one simple truth. And it sounds almost absurdly simple, but it's amazing how challenging it is to adhere to it. And it's really simple. Just don't quit. And you've heard that 1,000 times before. I know you have. But I see it over and over and over again. And not just in, if you want to call it this spiritual genre, but in really all aspects of life. And we've all done it. Okay. So I'm talking to myself, not in a mirror, but in all these monitors that are looking back at me. How many times have we, you, I, me, decided we were going to introduce a new lifestyle or a new routine or a new habit, if you want to use that word. I mean, a real common one is, let me think, you're going to save more money. Another real common one is going to get in shape, those type of things, right? And you start it, and then you stop. Now, and there's 1,000 really, really valid reasons why you stop. I'm talking to myself too. But it still doesn't change the fact that you stopped. And here's the thing. This is what I've discovered. Is those people that chose not to, those people that you read their books, you watch their shows, you follow their YouTube channels, anything like that. You buy their clothes, their designs or whatever. Right? And here's the thing. Some of them are kind of buggers. Some of them are like assholes. It's not like they're even terribly virtuous or anything like that. Because this law, if you will, this principle, it's amoral in that respect. It doesn't matter whether you want to put labels on it, good or bad or whatever, or whether your intentions are even good and bad. You just keep going. Right? You just don't quit. And those people that, again, you see that sort of have made it. Here's the thing. They've had the same really, really, really valid reason to stop. I mean, we all have our own unique challenges. There are probably some similar themes, but we all have our own unique challenges. But they're not really better or worse or harder or easier. I mean, they're just challenges, right? But the one thing that your external experience and all the players in it can never take away from you is that inner conviction, decision to keep going, no matter what, to keep going. And that's the simple truth. And it's not choosing to go because your external circumstances just really align with that and support you. Yeah, sometimes that's the case. But where this truth really turns into gold is not then. It's when everything in your external surroundings is telling you to stop. It's when every bit of almost logic in your mind is telling you to stop. It's when your health report or your bank account or the number of people watching or the number of people that are taking you up at your offer or buying your stuff or whatever. It's not when that's just going off the charts. It's when there's none of that. None of it. But you choose to keep going anyway. I tell you, this is just my little perspective here. The number of people that have, this is just me, that have taken like degrees and different things like this, because that's what they really wanted to do. That's what they love to do. And they're not in that field at all right now. Like not even close to it. And again, these are generalized statements, right? So, I mean, everybody's got their own situation. Sometimes, let's say you take the education and you decide, boy, this really, really sucks. I don't want to do this. And that's great. I think a lot of times the reason is because it's difficult. Because they come out and they enter into the world now, and it's difficult to follow this. And so, and here's an interesting thing. And then the path of the least resistance is to not keep going ahead into pursuing that dream, is to taking the, if you will, side road out back into comfortability. But then the question is, how bad do you want this? Like, how bad do you really want this? Maybe you stepped out as a solopreneur or something like that. I see this so often. People are all excited about it. This is what they're going to do. They really feel it's their calling. And 6 months later, it's done. And then there are those people. I was just looking at one this morning. Rosemarie from, I'll just say Saskatchewan. She came to our Reiki workshops. And we're just watching what she's doing and what she's building now and has built now. And it's just the most amazing thing to see. And it was a fairly new sort of direction for her, but she just kept going. Now, and I'm talking about myself now, does that mean you're up and at 'em every day? No, because there's going to be some days that this sucks. And I think this is the thing, again, that, yes, in theory, you're always going to be, wind beneath my wings and everything's flowing and all this kind of stuff. But there's also going to be, and sometimes I think it's just as many of those days when you just don't feel like doing it. You just don't feel like doing it. And it's in those moments where this decision is by far the most powerful. What do I choose to do now? Do I choose to do something? Yeah, maybe it's not going to be a wind beneath my wings thing, but something. Something that aligns with my dreams and desires that I want to manifest. Even though you don't feel like it, even though it sucks, even though you would just rather sit on the couch and watch whatever the latest thing is on Netflix or something like that, right? But you get up and do something anyway. And it's in those moments that you choose to go forward instead of sort of falling back. That's what determines whether your dreams are going to manifest or whether they're not. I mean, sometimes they're way slower than we wish them to be. Sometimes they're really super fast. But it's when you get to that point where it doesn't matter. I think that's the thing. You make the decision, and it doesn't matter whether the workshop that you post, nobody registers for. It doesn't matter that when you go and work out at the gym, you don't see any results and you come home sore as hell. It doesn't matter whether, whatever, you've been saving your money and you're building some assets and stuff like that, and then the car breaks down, right? But you keep going forward, right? And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Here's a powerful thing. It doesn't matter whether when you make that decision and act on it, you see anything come back. That's the common theme is these people, there we are, these people, they just keep going, even though they don't see any return from that investment. They just keep going. Who did I listen to? Les Brown, he had a neat way of saying it. I'm going to have to paraphrase this because it was a long time ago. And basically what it's saying is that the resistances and the obstacles pushing against you, if you just keep pounding and pounding and pounding and pounding and pounding, after a while, they just say, screw this. And they let's just let this one go through because he's not going to stop. She's not going to stop. Now, what those resistances and obstacles are, that's a topic for another discussion. But right now, it can really be like sentient, if you will. And it's like if you just keep going and going and going and going and going and going and going, no matter what, then sooner or later those obstacles are just gonna fall away because they can't withstand your persistence. Another movie, I've quoted this movie before, a very powerful movie, powerful message, Shawshank Redemption. Andy Dufresne, I'm sure you have all seen it. If you haven't, you really need to. Andy Dufresne, who tunneled his way out of Shawshank Prison. And I don't know if he was a geologist or he really studied geology. And how he did it was this little rock hammer and all this type of thing. But one of the principles of geology is pressure through time. That's why water can create a massive canyon over time. And that's what they were saying is the show was talking about how that he, I think it was like the length of 2 football fields, created this little tunnel using this little tiny like, kind of rock hammer sort of thing. But it was pressure through time. It's the time part where the persistence comes in. And it's you just simply deciding, I'm not quitting. Doesn't matter whether I'm chipping and chipping and chipping and chipping and chipping, and it doesn't look like I'm making any headway. I would sure like to see it. I'm not saying I have to like it, but I'm not quitting. And that is the one simple truth that changes everything. It really, really does. Because just like Mom, who's 94, getting out of the hospital today, or Monday, I think it is, soon, you just keep going. Because if you're listening to this, that means you're still living and breathing. And if you're still living and breathing, you also have the ability to decide. As long as there is breath in your body, you can decide to move forward or to fall back. That's where the real power is. That's your teaching moment for Ask the Wizard, streaming live for July 7th of 2022. As I said, I stripped the audio from these teaching moments. I put it up on Spotify. You can find it at Ask the Wizard Coach. Thanks for tuning in. Share, share, share. We're all in this together. See you on the web.
You need